Yeah, so being in SAC the last 2 years, my contract was up, so they didn't offer me a new contract. So I kind of got lucky. My coach out here now, Brendan Burke, was my coach in Philly my first 2 years. So when he got the job out here, he called me up and he's like, "We want you out here," and it happened honestly pretty quick. There weren't many other options at the time for me, so I was actually really fortunate that he called, and I jumped on it really quick. And yeah, that's it kind of happened within a week. And I got out here 2 weeks ago, getting acclimated, getting ready for preseason in a couple weeks and ready to
My
go.
group is you, me, Scott Zobre, who I played with at Binghamton, Mike Corby, who he's played overseas in Sweden and in Germany. He's won the league in Sweden and in Germany, lower leagues, but he's done very well. And then Dylan Williams, who's now in the Regionalliga in Germany, which is the fourth tier, which is a very good level. So just to introduce the three other guys. So we're not going to count ourselves in this,
Yeah.
but when we do one-on-one drills as a defender, Scotty, Dylan, and Mike Corby are all attacking players.
Yeah.
Rate them 1 to 3. Who do you least want to face?
So one being the least or one being the easiest?
We'll say one will be the guy you absolutely don't want to go against.
All right. You know what? I'll be honest. I'll go Dylan. Dylan is a very shifty player. And then I'll go Corby, and I got to put Scotty last. But Scotty, you never know though, because Scotty's the king of he'll dribble at you, he'll kick the ball off your shins, it'll hit his shins, and he'll be past you. That is Scotty's move to the Stanford boys, Drew Scondrich and Sam Warner, for for joining me in the Tasty Tuesdays. Honestly, so when COVID hit, we played our first game, and then obviously we stopped. We couldn't do anything, and that was like the height of the fear and everything. So we didn't leave our apartment at all. I mean, you know what it's like. The whole country does like, and so things got super weird. I mean, three guys hanging out in an apartment. Like, what do you expect? So actually, someone from the club brought something up, like if we could do like some funny videos or something like that. And I want to say, so Drew's a big baker. Drew likes baking a lot. So I want to say either he thought of the idea or somebody brought it up, and Drew was kind of the pioneer of it. And so one day, like we sat down and and we literally we made our desserts. And in the beginning, like they were kind of mature, like normal conversations we'd have. We would rate them at the end. But then like each week we wanted to spice it up, and like we were wearing just ridiculous like outfits and things like that. So I finally got in a good run. We played New Mexico. I want to say 2019. It was in like the first week of June. I scored my first goal in that game for SAC, which was nice. And then we were playing San Jose in Open Cup on the Wednesday. And it was just like that was my first time kind of playing. Obviously, I played against MLS guys when we were with Union 2, now Union 2, Old Bethlehem Steel. But it was different kind of in an Open Cup setting. San Jose Stadium is amazing to play on, perfect field. Like I was playing against like Wondolowski, like leading goal scorer in MLS. So it was just like an unreal experience. Because I myself, like I came from college 4 years, kind of like you went to college. I didn't go overseas, so I've been playing the USL, now going my fifth year. So to be able to do that and compete, and I think we lost the game 3-2, but we were up 2-1, and to get that experience was like a really just amazing moment in my career to be able to say that, I competed well against MLS guys and was able to like hold my own, which most people never get the opportunity. So cool. I think the most my development in terms of soccer, the most I've developed was from my first year to my second year, through my second year, because I think, and honestly, I'll give James Chambers a big shout out again. He was obviously our older leader at the Steel, and he taught me a ton about the duration of professional season, the intensity. Like he was playing with everyone. I was one of the older guys on the team and the other college kids, and he was, what is he? He's probably 6, 7, 8 years older than me. I think he's 32 now, maybe. So he was playing with a bunch of young guys, and to be able to show up and bring that intensity every day, I was like, wow, I want to be like this. And so I mean, a shout out to like the Philly as well for the Philly style in terms of grit, like fight for everything. So I tried to bring that as well to my game. And then when I started playing my second year, it was just like, and obviously I had to transition to center back. They had another right back that came down. So fortunately, I was able to go to center back and still be able to play. But like the biggest thing I think I learned was one, how mentally draining a season can be in professional sports. Like it was 35 games and the body was tired by the end of the season, but also how enjoyable it was to know, like, week in and week out, to be able to start and play and do something that most people don't get to enjoy. But in terms of on the field, it was just like speed of play and, dealing with like more athletic guys than you in the pros because obviously the USL being athletic is half the battle. I mean, it's not always the most technical guys, but there's some crazy athletes in the league. So being able to deal with them as a smaller center back, I'm only 5'11", on top of being able to play and build out and things like that. But it was a huge growth year in terms of learning to like sustain it along like a full season, and things like that. So I'm definitely very grateful that I got that under my belt, and that's probably part of the reason I got to go to SAC.
I'm not. I don't want to call out your parents here because I love your parents. We've done many co-ed tournaments together. I've played with your whole family.
Yeah.
But have they never taught you if you're 5'11", then you always say you're 6 foot? Or are you just too honest?
Nah, they never taught me that. I mean, my mom's 5'1", so she's my mom's 5'1". I think my dad's 5'9" or 10. But I should. I got to get on my all my stats and stuff or whatever online. It's 5'11". I got to get that 6 foot in there. I mean, that's where to even start, to be honest. But obviously, like I'm an advocate for obviously length. I know discussions of lengthening the season to the spring, and I know actually they're playing the spring seasons now because of COVID. So it's proof that they could probably make it work if they elongated the season. But like I think now looking back now, how much time I lost getting touches on a ball in the spring season because you spend more time in the gym. So for example, I want to say my sophomore junior year, we were at 6 a.m. lifts every morning, lift for an hour, and then afternoon sessions we'd have maybe like conditioning, but we were only able to touch the ball 2-3 times a week. So we're like it's equivalent in terms of we're touching the soccer ball 3 times a week, and then on top of that lifting 3 times a week. So you're dead. So you're not doing anything on the weekends, but it's not like you're training for an hour, so you don't get to work on any of your weaknesses. You're in there, you're playing pickup because you just want to play. It's fun. So the amount of like learning and being able to develop your game is it's almost impossible because you're not able to get on facilities then when you want. So the only way you're able to train is if you go off of like school campus and find a park maybe to train in, which in Philly in a city, I mean, impossible. um, and so like you can't get on any of the facilities because other teams are on them. So you only have your hour to train, so you can't work on anything. So how are you supposed to develop to be a better player? So that's why it's if you end up out of college as a professional player, I mean it's amazing because of all the time you actually lost. And then if you're not playing in the summer, like in a PDL for example, then that's even more time lost. So I'm a huge fan of like I'm thankful for PDL in the summer because they were actually better than my Temple team because that helped me develop even more. But not everybody does that, and it's just a lot of time lost.
Yeah, I could not agree more with all of that. I think the biggest crime is the spring season. I think it's
ridiculous.
I don't want to kind of shit on the NCAA too much because who knows, I might have a job in the NCAA one day.